每天练习英语听、说、练，与我们一起提升你的语言技能。完成后，在我们的应用程式里多加练习。免费，连结在下方。开始练习吧。
Alex takes the bus to work. Alex takes the bus to work.
Alex 搭公车上班。
Alex takes the bus to work. Alex takes the bus to work. Mia waits at the bus stop. Mia waits at the bus stop.
Mia 在公车站牌等车。
Mia waits at the bus stop. Mia waits at the bus stop. Jake misses the last train. Jake misses the last train.
Jake 错过末班车。
Jake misses the last train. Jake misses the last train. Sarah calls a taxi for the airport. Sarah calls a taxi for the airport.
Sarah 打计程车去机场。
Sarah calls a taxi for the airport. Sarah calls a taxi for the airport. Tom buys a subway pass. Tom buys a subway pass.
Tom 买捷运定期票。
Tom buys a subway pass. Tom buys a subway pass. Lily checks the train schedule. Lily checks the train schedule.
Lily 查看火车时刻表。
Lily checks the train schedule. Lily checks the train schedule. Ben bikes to the station. Ben bikes to the station.
Ben 骑脚踏车到车站。
Ben bikes to the station. Ben bikes to the station. Emma rides the metro downtown. Emma rides the metro downtown.
Emma 搭捷运到市中心。
Emma rides the metro downtown. Emma rides the metro downtown. Noah shares a car with Leo. Noah shares a car with Leo.
Noah 和 Leo 共乘。
Noah shares a car with Leo. Noah shares a car with Leo. Ava looks for the right platform. Ava looks for the right platform.
Ava 找正确的月台。
Ava looks for the right platform. Ava looks for the right platform. Lucas asks for a student fare. Lucas asks for a student fare.
Lucas 问有没有学生票价。
Lucas asks for a student fare. Lucas asks for a student fare. Zoe taps her card at the gate. Zoe taps her card at the gate.
Zoe 在闸门刷卡。
Zoe taps her card at the gate. Zoe taps her card at the gate. Ryan needs a ride to school. Ryan needs a ride to school.
Ryan 需要人载他去学校。
Ryan needs a ride to school. Ryan needs a ride to school. Chloe takes an Uber to the mall. Chloe takes an Uber to the mall.
Chloe 搭 Uber 去百货公司。
Chloe takes an Uber to the mall. Chloe takes an Uber to the mall. Ethan orders a lift at night. Ethan orders a lift at night.
Ethan 晚上叫 Lyft。
Ethan orders a lift at night. Ethan orders a lift at night. Maya walks to the bus stop. Maya walks to the bus stop.
Maya 走路到公车站牌。
Maya walks to the bus stop. Maya walks to the bus stop. Jack waits in a long taxi line. Jack waits in a long taxi line.
Jack 在长长的计程车队伍中排队。
Jack waits in a long taxi line. Jack waits in a long taxi line. Nina checks the route on her phone. Nina checks the route on her phone.
Nina 用手机查看路线。
Nina checks the route on her phone. Nina checks the route on her phone. Omar stands near the front of the bus. Omar stands near the front of the bus.
Omar 站在公车前段。
Omar stands near the front of the bus. Omar stands near the front of the bus. Leah sits by the window on the train. Leah sits by the window on the train.
Leah 坐在火车靠窗的位置。
Leah sits by the window on the train. Leah sits by the window on the train. Henry holds the subway pole. Henry holds the subway pole.
Henry 抓住捷运的扶杆。
Henry holds the subway pole. Henry holds the subway pole. Grace keeps her ticket in her wallet. Grace keeps her ticket in her wallet.
Grace 把票放在皮夹里。
Grace keeps her ticket in her wallet. Grace keeps her ticket in her wallet. Leo hears the next stop announced. Leo hears the next stop announced.
Leo 听到下一站的广播。
Leo hears the next stop announced. Leo hears the next stop announced. Isla gets off at the wrong stop. Isla gets off at the wrong stop.
Isla 在错的站下车。
Isla gets off at the wrong stop. Isla gets off at the wrong stop. Max asks the driver for help. Max asks the driver for help.
Max 向司机求助。
Max asks the driver for help. Max asks the driver for help. Nora sees a delay on the board. Nora sees a delay on the board.
Nora 看到看板上显示延误。
Nora sees a delay on the board. Nora sees a delay on the board. Ivan buys a round-trip ticket. Ivan buys a round-trip ticket.
Ivan 买来回票。
Ivan buys a round-trip ticket. Ivan buys a round-trip ticket. Rosa carries a small backpack. Rosa carries a small backpack.
Rosa 背注小背包。
Rosa carries a small backpack. Rosa carries a small backpack. Sean brings a carry-on bag. Sean brings a carry-on bag.
Sean 带住随身行李。
Sean brings a carry-on bag. Sean brings a carry-on bag. Tara pays the fare with cash. Tara pays the fare with cash.
Tara 用现金付车资。
Tara pays the fare with cash. Tara pays the fare with cash. Victor uses a transit app. Victor uses a transit app.
Victor 使用大众运输 App。
Victor uses a transit app. Victor uses a transit app. Julia asks about the transfer. Julia asks about the transfer.
Julia 询问转乘方式。
Julia asks about the transfer. Julia asks about the transfer. Peter checks the bus number. Peter checks the bus number.
Peter 确认公车号码。
Peter checks the bus number. Peter checks the bus number. Carla reads the map on the wall. Carla reads the map on the wall.
Carla 看墙上的地图。
Carla reads the map on the wall. Carla reads the map on the wall. Dylan waits for the light to turn green. Dylan waits for the light to turn green.
Dylan 等红灯转绿。
Dylan waits for the light to turn green. Dylan waits for the light to turn green. Iris crosses at the crosswalk. Iris crosses at the crosswalk.
Iris 走斑马线过马路。
Iris crosses at the crosswalk. Iris crosses at the crosswalk. Felix wears a bike helmet. Felix wears a bike helmet.
Felix 戴住脚踏车安全帽。
Felix wears a bike helmet. Felix wears a bike helmet. Naomi locks her scooter. Naomi locks her scooter.
Naomi 把滑板车锁好。
Naomi locks her scooter. Naomi locks her scooter. Sergio rents a bike near the park. Sergio rents a bike near the park.
Sergio 在公园附近租脚踏车。
Sergio rents a bike near the park. Sergio rents a bike near the park. Heidi asks for directions to the station. Heidi asks for directions to the station.
Heidi 问去车站怎么走。
Heidi asks for directions to the station. Heidi asks for directions to the station. Marco stands in line for tickets. Marco stands in line for tickets.
Marco 排队买票。
Marco stands in line for tickets. Marco stands in line for tickets. Paula gets a seat by the aisle. Paula gets a seat by the aisle.
Paula 坐到靠走道的座位。
Paula gets a seat by the aisle. Paula gets a seat by the aisle. Kevin pulls the stop cord on the bus. Kevin pulls the stop cord on the bus.
Kevin 在公车上按下车铃。
Kevin pulls the stop cord on the bus. Kevin pulls the stop cord on the bus. Olivia checks the gate number. Olivia checks the gate number.
Olivia 确认登机门号码。
Olivia checks the gate number. Olivia checks the gate number. Julian goes through security at the airport. Julian goes through security at the airport.
Julian 在机场通过安检。
Julian goes through security at the airport. Julian goes through security at the airport. Wendy fills up gas before the trip. Wendy fills up gas before the trip.
Wendy 出发前加满油。
Wendy fills up gas before the trip. Wendy fills up gas before the trip. Bruce parks in a free spot. Bruce parks in a free spot.
Bruce 停在一个空车位。
Bruce parks in a free spot. Bruce parks in a free spot. Alice looks for a parking garage. Alice looks for a parking garage.
Alice 找立体停车场。
Alice looks for a parking garage. Alice looks for a parking garage. Jared takes the express train. Jared takes the express train.
Jared 搭快车。
Jared takes the express train. Jared takes the express train. Kira waits for the local bus. Kira waits for the local bus.
Kira 等普通公车。
Kira waits for the local bus. Kira waits for the local bus. Oscar takes a shuttle to the hotel. Oscar takes a shuttle to the hotel.
Oscar 搭接驳车到饭店。
Oscar takes a shuttle to the hotel. Oscar takes a shuttle to the hotel. Faith rides a ferry across the river. Faith rides a ferry across the river.
Faith 搭渡轮过河。
Faith rides a ferry across the river. Faith rides a ferry across the river. Brian buys a day pass for the subway. Brian buys a day pass for the subway.
Brian 买捷运1日票。
Brian buys a day pass for the subway. Brian buys a day pass for the subway. Dana asks for a senior discount. Dana asks for a senior discount.
Dana 询问敬老优惠。
Dana asks for a senior discount. Dana asks for a senior discount. Corey shows an ID to the conductor. Corey shows an ID to the conductor.
Corey 出示证件给列车长。
Corey shows an ID to the conductor. Corey shows an ID to the conductor. Hazel keeps her luggage close. Hazel keeps her luggage close.
Hazel 把行李放在身边。
Hazel keeps her luggage close. Hazel keeps her luggage close. Pablo checks the departure time. Pablo checks the departure time.
Pablo 查看出发时间。
Pablo checks the departure time. Pablo checks the departure time. Quinn watches the arrival board. Quinn watches the arrival board.
Quinn 看住到达资讯看板。
Quinn watches the arrival board. Quinn watches the arrival board. Rita finds the right track number. Rita finds the right track number.
Rita 找到正确的月台号码。
Rita finds the right track number. Rita finds the right track number. Simon hears the boarding call. Simon hears the boarding call.
Simon 听到登机广播。
Simon hears the boarding call. Simon hears the boarding call. Tessa lines up at gate B12. Tessa lines up at gate B12.
Tessa 在 B12 登机门排队。
Tessa lines up at gate B12. Tessa lines up at gate B12. Umar looks for the baggage claim. Umar looks for the baggage claim.
Umar 找行李提领处。
Umar looks for the baggage claim. Umar looks for the baggage claim. Vicky wheels a stroller onto the bus. Vicky wheels a stroller onto the bus.
Vicky 推住婴儿车上公车。
Vicky wheels a stroller onto the bus. Vicky wheels a stroller onto the bus. Wyatt waits for the elevator at the station. Wyatt waits for the elevator at the station.
Wyatt 在车站等电梯。
Wyatt waits for the elevator at the station. Wyatt waits for the elevator at the station. Yara asks about wheelchair access. Yara asks about wheelchair access.
Yara 询问轮椅无障碍通道。
Yara asks about wheelchair access. Yara asks about wheelchair access. Zane takes the stairs to the platform. Zane takes the stairs to the platform.
Zane 走楼梯到月台。
Zane takes the stairs to the platform. Zane takes the stairs to the platform. Amber stands behind the yellow line. Amber stands behind the yellow line.
Amber 站在黄线后面。
Amber stands behind the yellow line. Amber stands behind the yellow line. Byron lets people off first. Byron lets people off first.
Byron 先让人下车。
Byron lets people off first. Byron lets people off first. Cora moves to the back of the bus. Cora moves to the back of the bus.
Cora 往公车后方移动。
Cora moves to the back of the bus. Cora moves to the back of the bus. Derek holds the door for Mia. Derek holds the door for Mia.
Derek 帮 Mia 扶住门。
Derek holds the door for Mia. Derek holds the door for Mia. Ella thanks the bus driver. Ella thanks the bus driver.
Ella 向公车司机道谢。
Ella thanks the bus driver. Ella thanks the bus driver. Frank gives up his seat to Nina. Frank gives up his seat to Nina.
Frank 把座位让给 Nina。
Frank gives up his seat to Nina. Frank gives up his seat to Nina. Gina scans a QR code for tickets. Gina scans a QR code for tickets.
Gina 扫 QR code 取票。
Gina scans a QR code for tickets. Gina scans a QR code for tickets. Hugo updates his transit card. Hugo updates his transit card.
Hugo 为他的交通卡加值。
Hugo updates his transit card. Hugo updates his transit card. Inez checks the weather before leaving. Inez checks the weather before leaving.
Inez 出门前查看天气。
Inez checks the weather before leaving. Inez checks the weather before leaving. Jonas leaves early to avoid traffic. Jonas leaves early to avoid traffic.
Jonas 提早出门以避免塞车。
Jonas leaves early to avoid traffic. Jonas leaves early to avoid traffic. Kara gets stuck in a traffic jam. Kara gets stuck in a traffic jam.
Kara 遇到塞车。
Kara gets stuck in a traffic jam. Kara gets stuck in a traffic jam. Leon listens to a traffic report. Leon listens to a traffic report.
Leon 收听交通路况报道。
Leon listens to a traffic report. Leon listens to a traffic report. Mabel drives on the highway. Mabel drives on the highway.
Mabel 在高速公路上开车。
Mabel drives on the highway. Mabel drives on the highway. Nigel slows down at the toll booth. Nigel slows down at the toll booth.
Nigel 在收费站放慢车速。
Nigel slows down at the toll booth. Nigel slows down at the toll booth. Opal pays the toll with a pass. Opal pays the toll with a pass.
Opal 用通行卡缴过路费。
Opal pays the toll with a pass. Opal pays the toll with a pass. Pierce merges into the right lane. Pierce merges into the right lane.
Pierce 并入右侧车道。
Pierce merges into the right lane. Pierce merges into the right lane. Queenie follows the speed limit. Queenie follows the speed limit.
Queenie 遵守速限。
Queenie follows the speed limit. Queenie follows the speed limit. Raphael stops at a red light. Raphael stops at a red light.
Raphael 在红灯前停下。
Raphael stops at a red light. Raphael stops at a red light. Selena waits for the walk signal. Selena waits for the walk signal.
Selena 等行人通行号志。
Selena waits for the walk signal. Selena waits for the walk signal. Trent yields to a bus. Trent yields to a bus.
Trent 礼让公车。
Trent yields to a bus. Trent yields to a bus. Una looks both ways before crossing. Una looks both ways before crossing.
Una 过马路前左右查看。
Una looks both ways before crossing. Una looks both ways before crossing. Vera buckles her seatbelt. Vera buckles her seatbelt.
Vera 系上安全带。
Vera buckles her seatbelt. Vera buckles her seatbelt. Walt checks his driver's license. Walt checks his driver's license.
Walt 检查他的驾照。
Walt checks his driver's license. Walt checks his driver's license. Zena fills the tank at a gas station. Zena fills the tank at a gas station.
Zena 在加油站把油加满。
Zena fills the tank at a gas station. Zena fills the tank at a gas station. Yuri washes the windshield. Yuri washes the windshield.
Yuri 清洗挡风玻璃。
Yuri washes the windshield. Yuri washes the windshield. Zara turns on the headlights. Zara turns on the headlights.
Zara 打开头灯。
Zara turns on the headlights. Zara turns on the headlights. Adrian turns off the engine at the curb. Adrian turns off the engine at the curb.
Adrian 在路边熄火。
Adrian turns off the engine at the curb. Adrian turns off the engine at the curb. Bianca picks up Alex at the station. Bianca picks up Alex at the station.
Bianca 去车站接 Alex。
Bianca picks up Alex at the station. Bianca picks up Alex at the station. Curtis drops Emma at the airport. Curtis drops Emma at the airport.
Curtis 把 Emma 送到机场下车。
Curtis drops Emma at the airport. Curtis drops Emma at the airport. Daisy meets Noah at the bus stop. Daisy meets Noah at the bus stop.
Daisy 在公车站牌和 Noah 见面。
Daisy meets Noah at the bus stop. Daisy meets Noah at the bus stop. Edgar carpools with Ava to work. Edgar carpools with Ava to work.
Edgar 和 Ava 共乘上班。
Edgar carpools with Ava to work. Edgar carpools with Ava to work.
感谢观看，订阅我们的频道并开启通知，及时获取新视频，持续你的英语学习之旅。